These are 10 pro tips to prestige your brawlers fast in Brawl Stars. Now, as you guys know, the new prestige system is finally here, and you can get a bunch of crazy rewards, including these new brawler titles, just by prestiging your brawlers. But there's a lot of players that are struggling to prestige their brawlers fast and unlock these cool brawler titles and rewards. But have no fear, Kashewz Gaming is here. By the end of this video, these 10 pro tips will help you prestige your brawlers fast, and you can become an insane pro player, okay? And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe because I'm on my way to 200,000 subscribers, okay? Alright, the first tip that you need to follow to prestige your brawlers fast is to set trophy goals for the specific brawlers that you're prestiging. Now, whether you want to prestige your favorite brawler or prestige as many brawlers as possible, setting trophy goals can help you stay organized and motivated when prestiging brawlers, because let's be real, prestiging brawlers is quite a journey, especially if you're trying to get to the higher prestige levels. Setting trophy goals can help you stay consistent and motivated in an organized framework, because it sort of gives you a reason to push the brawler you're trying to prestige. Now, let's say that I'm trying to get BB to prestige 2. I'm a fat 940 trophies away, so what I'm gonna do is set a goal of getting BB to 100 trophies. Once I get her to 100 trophies, I'll set another goal of getting her to 200 trophies, then 300 trophies, then 400 trophies, and you get the point. Having these small goals would allow me to stay consistent in small increments until I eventually prestige BB to prestige 2. And you can really do this with any brawler, even brawlers that you haven't prestiged yet. Like, I am 50 trophies away from prestiging Kashewz, so I'm gonna set a goal of getting Kashewz to 1,000 trophies, and boom, I can easily prestige her just like that. If you're solely trying to get all of your brawlers prestige, you can set trophy goals for your brawlers that are close to hitting prestige. So in my case, I would set a goal of getting Kashewz, Frank, B, and Doug to prestige 1. And yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, comment which brawler you're trying to prestige. The next tip to prestige brawlers fast is to push brawlers that are in the meta and breaking the game. If you're trying to prestige as many brawlers as possible, you can really streamline the process by prioritizing brawlers that are in the meta and breaking the game. This is because these brawlers are just way too strong right now, and they can really help you win more games, and you can ultimately gain more trophies. Brawlers like Sirius, Crow, Bull, and of course BB are currently in the meta and breaking the game right now, so you can start with pushing these brawlers and prestiging them if you're solely trying to prestige as many brawlers as possible. There's also so many other brawlers that are breaking the game right now which you can prestige, like brawlers who have buffies. If you follow this tip and combine it with the first tip in this video, you are pretty much unstoppable, unless balance changes come out of nowhere and nuke the brawler stats for these meta brawlers. Also, stay tuned for the final tip on prestiging brawlers fast. You don't want to miss this tip because it can really help you hit prestige 3. Okay, this next tip to prestige brawlers fast is extremely important, so listen up, okay? And that is to play in the correct game modes for the brawlers that you're trying to prestige. The last thing that you want to do is use a brawler in the incorrect game mode, especially in the higher trophy range. You should be playing brawlers that you're trying to prestige in game modes and maps that they're most strong in. Like, you obviously don't want to use El Primus in an open gem grab map because you will get absolutely cooked by marksman brawlers, bro. So let's say that I'm trying to prestige the legend himself, Pierce. Pierce is in the meta right now and he's pretty good in game modes like gem grab, hot zone, brawl ball, and knockout. So I would only use Pierce in the game modes he's good in. One thing that you do have to watch out for, and this is really important by the way, is the map of the game mode that you're playing in. If I'm playing in a map with a decent amount of walls and open areas, Pierce would be perfect in that map. But if I'm playing in this train map, bro, I am avoiding it at all costs, bro. Do you realize how annoying these trains are, bro? But yeah, the point that I'm trying to make here is that you have to play in the correct game modes and maps for the brawlers that you're trying to prestige. Otherwise, you'll get whacked out of existence and lose a bunch of trophies, and you won't be able to prestige your brawlers fast, okay? The next way to prestige brawlers fast is to max out the brawlers you plan to prestige. Now, this is an extremely important tip, especially if you're trying to prestige meta brawlers who are breaking the game. Now, let's say that I want to prestige Bo Gaming. I would ideally want it maxed out because Bo actually got some new buffies in this update. So if I have it maxed out, which I do, and unlock all of his buffies, this can put me at an advantage against other players that I'm facing in ladder. You always want to be at an advantage against your enemies when pushing prestiges, and one of the best ways to do that is to max out brawlers you plan to prestige. Even if your brawler that you're trying to prestige doesn't have any buffies, you can still leverage their max stats and even their hypercharge gaming. And maxing out brawlers has become a bit easier thanks to Brawl Stars giving out a bunch of crazy rewards. Like, completing the free pass gives you so many rewards that can help you max out brawlers. I would highly recommend maxing out meta brawlers who have buffies if you plan on prestiging as many brawlers as possible. BB is an obvious example because she's completely breaking the game right now and she has some very broken buffies. Alright, this next tip is simple but important, and that is to use the best build for the brawlers that you're prestiging. Even if you don't have maxed out brawlers, you can still formulate an effective build that can put you at an advantage against enemies. The last thing that you want to do is use the incorrect build for the brawler that you're prestiging. For example, if I'm trying to prestige Sirius Gaming, I would definitely use this build right here, including his hypercharge. This build allows me to charge shadows faster and play defensively in 3v3 game mode. So this build is perfect, especially if I'm trying to prestige the Star Park looking brawler. The same applies for really any other brawler that you're prestiging. Using an effective build can put you at an advantage against your enemies, and it can help you win more games even if your brawlers aren't maxed out. Like if you have Jesse at power 9 or something, you can still equip the best gadgets, star power, and gears for this brawler, and that can really make a big difference. I highly suggest researching the abilities of your brawlers that you're prestiging. This would give you an idea of what each star power and gadget does, and you can use this information to create a strong build and whack your enemies out of existence and reach prestige 50 million, okay? Now this next tip may sound dumb, but let me tell you something. It is a simple and effective tip that can help you prestige pretty much any brawler, and that is to practice playing brawlers that you're trying to prestige in the free play game mode thing. Now I know you can't gain trophies at all in free play, but this can actually come to an advantage for you. If you're struggling to learn the mechanics of the brawler you're trying to prestige, or you want to try learning different playstyles, then playing in free play is a good idea. This is because you won't risk losing any trophies, and you'll be able to practice the brawler that you're trying to prestige freely. It is really important to understand the brawler that you're trying to prestige. This includes testing out different ability combinations and different playstyles as well. Once you fully understand your brawler and you've practiced some crazy insane playstyles, then you can switch back to the classic 3v3 game modes and start prestiging those brawlers. I mean, the last thing that you want to do is start prestiging a brawler that you don't understand at all. You'll just end up losing a bunch of trophies like that, and you'll have to restart at 0 prestige trophies too. Okay, this is a quick tip to prestige brawlers fast in Brawl Stars, and that is to take advantage of win streaks. Now, as you guys know, win streaks got reworked in this update, and they are way too broken now. Before, you were only able to get a maximum of 5 extra trophies when having a win streak, but now you can get a maximum of 10 trophies with a win streak, which is actually insane. So if you're prestiging brawlers, you really want to make sure that you get a win streak activated and get the win streak up to a point where you can get 10 extra trophies per win. Having a maxed out win streak will be helpful because you'll basically be able to gain 20 trophies per game, and this can be even more with the next tip that I'll be explaining. Now, unfortunately, you won't be able to get the bonus trophies from the win streaks when you're past prestige 2, so this tip only works if you're pushing brawlers who are prestige 1 and under. This tip is extremely underrated, and you can gain a crazy amount of trophies if you manage to maintain your win streak. Alright, this next tip is a new feature that Brawl Stars recently added. Now, it is a small feature, but it can really help you prestige so much faster, and that is to use your trophy rush button every day. Now, in the new update, Brawl Stars added this rush button thing, and apparently you can even use it for trophies. Now, how this works is that once you hold the button and activate the trophy rush, you can literally gain double trophies for 20 minutes. Now, this doesn't work on win streaks, but it does work on your base trophies that you gain from a win. So if I were to activate the trophy rush with a win streak of 10 and I got a win in Brawl Ball, I would literally gain 30 trophies in one game. So you can really leverage the trophy rush button, especially when you feel stuck and you're trying to gain some extra trophies fast. Like if you have lower trophy brawlers, especially that you want to prestige as fast as possible, literally use the trophy rush button and you can gain trophies 2 times faster. And yeah, we're almost at the final tip for prestiging brawlers fast in Brawl Stars. You don't want to miss this tip because it is very important, especially if you want to prestige all of your brawlers fast. The next way to prestige brawlers fast is to take advantage of Showdown Plus. Wait, this isn't Showdown Plus. What is this, bro? Now, I wouldn't usually recommend playing Showdown in the higher trophy ranges because it is filled with way too many teamers and sweats. But if you're in the lower trophy range, like under Prestige 1 or even in the lower end of Prestige 1, you can take advantage of Showdown Plus if it ever comes back in the game mode's rotation. Showdown Plus is way too broken. You can literally gain an extra 2 trophies per elimination that you get. So if you get like 5 eliminations in Showdown Plus and you come first place, that is literally 20 trophies just like that. And if you have a win streak activated or you have the trophy rush thing enabled, well, that is even more trophies, which can help you prestige fast. If you're trying to push your lower brawlers and Showdown Plus comes into rotation, you can really take advantage and gain some extra trophies fast. But if you're in the higher end of Prestige 1 and above, I would honestly recommend sticking with 3v3 game modes unless you're a Showdown warrior who can whack everyone out of existence. But yeah, we are on to the final tip for prestiging brawlers fast in Brawl Stars, and this is a really important tip, so listen up, okay? And that is to form an effective team instead of relying on randoms. Now, if you're trying to get to the Prestige 2 or Prestige 3 range, it is extremely important to form an effective team with like-minded players who are also trying to prestige. Because let's be real, it is really difficult to deal with bad randoms, and they will nuke your trophies, bro. Don't get me wrong, some randoms are good, but there's also some randoms that'll just sit in the corner of the map and do absolutely nothing. Now, like I mentioned before, you want to form a team with like-minded players who are also trying to get more prestige brawlers. This will allow your team to focus on one goal, which is to get them prestige brawlers. The advantages of having your own team is that you and your team can use all the broken meta brawlers and even coordinate different playstyles. When playing with randoms, on the other hand, you won't know what brawlers you're using until you enter the game, and it might be difficult to coordinate playstyles. Now, you could form a team with like-minded players in your club, for example, or you can even use Brawl Stars' quick join feature and find a team through there. And boom! Once you have an effective team with like-minded players who are also trying to get prestige brawlers, you'll have a much much better chance of getting more wins, and you don't have to worry about bad randoms, okay? But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, click on this video to see a full guide on how to use Glowy in Brawl Stars.